because of the weight disadvantage.
Can you imagine, bro? You're fighting Canelo Alvarez, man. Nobody ever heard of you. Nobody even knows your name, all that stuff, bro.
But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo is so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. Weight classes matter for him.
Floyd Mayweather weighed in on Terence Crawford's potential blockbuster clash with Canelo Alvarez, labeling it a thrilling matchup. He cautioned Crawford to tread carefully, stressing boxing's brutal nature, particularly with the stark weight gap, and urged him to strategize smartly before entering that high-stakes ring.
And it's a good matchup with those two. You know, may the best man win. But this sport is something that you can't play with. Boxing is something that you can't play with.
Terence Crawford is resolute in defying skeptics who deem the Canelo bout daunting, relishing formidable challenges. He asserts no opponent is insurmountable, trusting his exceptional prowess. Despite detractors criticizing his audacious choice, claiming Canelo's dominance, Crawford remains steadfast, intent on demonstrating his capability to triumph spectacularly.
That's a fight because of the challenge. Yeah. I love the challenges, and I love the people that I hear them now. You too little. You know, Canelo gonna break you. He's gonna stop you. You come from 147, that weight too big, this and that. I can hear now. And that just excites me to go in there and just be like, okay, let me prove him wrong once again.
That fight would be gigantic. If Canelo gets through Jamel and then you guys fight, that fight would be gigantic.
And it's crazy because, like, in the past interviews, I was like, man, Canelo too big, man. It's weight classes for a reason. I was like, nah.
Boxing's weight classes aren't just rules, they keep fighters safe. When people talk about Terence Crawford fighting Canelo Alvarez, one big worry stands out: the huge weight gap. Canelo thrives at 168 pounds, while Crawford shines in much lighter divisions. Fans, fighters, and experts all agree this leap in weight could be too much for Crawford. The size and strength difference might put him at serious risk in the ring.
They have weight divisions for a reason, right or wrong?
Right. Manny Pacquiao, bro.
Okay.
What's your take on Manny?
Pacquiao didn't move up 3 weight divisions at once.
Okay.
Fight a pound-for-pound fighter.
Okay, so Canelo's got it. How does Canelo get it done?
I don't know, man. It might be the boringest fight ever. It might be the best fight ever. But I will tell you this. It's not a fight I truly care about. Crawford's not really entertaining. So I don't really care about who he fights. But I will tell you like this. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a great fighter. But he's not really entertaining outside the ring. There's nothing that makes me want to be like, I can't wait to see the next Terence Crawford fight.
Fighters aren't quiet. Rally Romero said weight classes matter, pointing out Canelo's size edge over Crawford. He bets Canelo wins with pure power. Floyd Mayweather, who beat a young Canelo, looked back. Floyd won, but said Canelo was new then. Now, Canelo's a beast, stronger, wiser, unstoppable. Floyd, older in their fight, still saw Canelo's spark. Today, Canelo rules, no longer the kid Floyd fought.
It's crazy that, Canelo said that, because when Canelo fought me, he was in his prime. And when I fought, I was an old man. So I wasn't in my prime when I fought Canelo. I was an old man when I fought Canelo. Just like this right here, young guy, even though I'm old, I got a lot of experience. I'm gonna go out there and just show him that this is the elite level and it's something totally different.
Legendary pugilist Mike Tyson spoke candidly about the proposed Crawford-Canelo clash, deeming it a grave misstep. Tyson highlighted Canelo's formidable power, relentless aggression, and knack for exhausting foes with unyielding pressure. He cautioned that this perilous bout could spell disaster for Crawford, emphasizing that the monumental risks far eclipse any potential glory, urging the fighter to reconsider this high-stakes gamble.
Mike, I gotta say this. Terence Crawford, tremendous fighter. You're a big supporter of his. He wants to move up 3 weight classes and fight Canelo. What do you think?
Yeah, he can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. I don't think, what would he have? I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. People have done things crazy like that before. It's just that he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
Ascendant boxing luminary David Benavidez voiced a nuanced stance, revering both pugilists yet lamenting the bout's necessity. He acknowledges Canelo's lucrative allure, the sport's ultimate jackpot, drawing all contenders. Still, Benavidez harbors reservations about Crawford's audacious weight leap. Pursuing legendary status is commendable, but not at the expense of equity or well-being. True greatness, he posits, balances ambition with integrity, ensuring no fighter's safety is jeopardized for glory or riches.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's the money fight. You know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you. But it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It would be a great fight. But I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and and after this fight, what else are they gonna say? You know what I mean? This is a tough fight. You know, the top people ranked at the WC are fighting each other. So I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, then I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, I set my conquest on 175. Like I said, I don't want no handouts either. I want to, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But, I see that weight class, I want to become champion at 175, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Amir Khan, having faced Canelo in the ring, issued a poignant warning drawn from his own ordeal. Khan confessed he misjudged the impact of their size disparity, calling Canelo a formidable titan. He emphasized the brutal lesson of why weight divisions are critical. His advice to Crawford was clear: tread carefully and respect the power of physical differences.
Canelo's a beast, man. Canelo's a beast, and when it was offered to me, I tried to chase the Mayweather fight at that time, and it happened. And obviously I was probably at my peak of my career there as well, so whoever I was going to fight, I was going to give him a hard fight regardless. Because we were probably winning that fight against Canelo until he knocked me out. But yeah, I was boxing well, but one thing, sizes, now I understand why they make weight divisions in boxing, every weight division. But then again, look bro, you would probably take it. I was offered like 10 million quid, bro. 10 million quid, bro. Look, end of the day, this is like, it's a lot of money, I thought about it. What made me, when I got the deal on the table for 10 mil, I was like, should I take it or not? But then I worked it out. Normally I have to have 3 or 4 hard training camps and fights to make that kind of money. That's still one fight. So you gotta do it in that one fight, you know what I mean?
Does Canelo beat Crawford?
Size, bro, remember, Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to weight. A box fight, yeah.
What do you think?
I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter. But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better. You know what I mean? Technical more. Especially against the last fight against Mangui. He boxed really well as well, and he's looking really good. He's still, a lot of people might say, oh, he's getting old, this and another, but no, Canelo's still a beast.
I mean, Eddie Hearn says don't lift levels above Adam. What do you think?
I think today Adam proved he is probably on the same level, but in my opinion, both guys wanted to fight each other this year.
Boxing expert Showbiz, an industry veteran, shared a gripping perspective, recounting the bone-chilling sound of Canelo's punches up close, emphasizing their terrifying power even when not fully unleashed.
Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford?
Yeah, got Canelo. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody can do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Because that would be tested.
Pay the bill. That's why Canelo's skillful too.
Joe Rogan, a veteran combat analyst, highlighted Canelo's devastating punching power. Rogan didn't dissect tactics or movement. He zeroed in on the sheer destructive force Canelo unleashes.
There's just guys that just have preposterous power, and Canelo is a guy that has power but is constantly working on it. There's a great clip of him working with Andy Ruiz. You know that shield, that weird hand shield that they hold up for hooks?
Yeah.
And he's like, this is not for speed. This is just power, just power. He's like, don't try to be fast with this, use power. And you see him just, hey, boom. Bro, he hits so hard.
Sports commentator Stephen A. Smith unleashed fiery criticism during a live broadcast, vehemently opposing the boxing match. He argued passionately that the stark disparity in weight and strength renders the bout dangerously unfair for Crawford.
Let me tell you what I think should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jamel Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life. And he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it. And lost fight number 2. Trained him for Rocky 3. And then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago. Because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go. Too small.
Iconic Mexican boxing legend Julio Cesar Chavez issued a stark warning. If Crawford dares to fight, he'll face a brutal knockout. Chavez admires Crawford's skills, but insists Canelo's raw power at 168 pounds is unbeatable. His vast expertise lending undeniable weight to this bold claim.
The two fighters are going to be different weight classes, even though they're going to fight on a specific weight. He believes that they're just going because of the money, Crawford, but probably Canelo is going to knock him out.
Sean Garcia cautioned Terence Crawford, recognizing his sharp boxing intellect. However, he stressed Canelo Alvarez's formidable physicality forms an insurmountable barrier. Garcia believes that in this clash, Crawford's technical prowess may falter against Canelo's overwhelming size and brute strength, potentially dictating the fight's outcome.
Amir Crawford?
Yeah.
I think Canelo's just too big for Crawford. I mean, Terence Crawford is another, amazing fighter. Gotta give credit when it's due. He's an amazing fighter, he's very talented, and he'll for sure give Canelo a fight, and Canelo knows that. But I feel like Canelo will use, his experience, his weight, and how big he is, and I think he'll overpower Terence Crawford like in the later.
Boxing mogul Eddie Hearn delivered a compelling perspective, labeling it a spectacle bout. He contended that despite its allure, the stark weight disparity renders it more theatrical than authentic. Hearn emphasized that a Crawford victory might be dismissed by fans due to the size chasm. Conversely, a Canelo triumph would likely be perceived as routine, underscoring the challenge of legitimizing such a high-profile yet polarizing matchup.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
Coach Joel Diaz emphasized that Canelo's greatest edge isn't merely delivering powerful punches, but absorbing them from formidable opponents. Diaz noted that Crawford may struggle to inflict damage on Canelo, potentially exposing vulnerabilities as the bout progresses, making endurance a critical factor in their high-stakes showdown.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that. But I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
Oscar De La Hoya, legendary champion turned promoter, branded the bout a blatant cash grab. He scrutinized its competitive merit, diving into boxing's storied past. Historically, when a nimble, smaller fighter faces a towering adversary, the larger combatant triumphs, revealing the stark reality in this high-stakes, controversial matchup.
William who? Canelo versus William Skull. William who?
Oscar being back in New York over here.
No, let's just say Canelo Crawford, in the history of boxing, and this is the facts.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
If you see Thursdays, Fact Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, and this is the truth again, it's a money grab. That's it. Yeah.
But Crawford doesn't rely on his power; he relies on his IQ. Crawford, what he did to Spence was magic, was incredible, was amazing. And so, look, one thing about Canelo is that we all know that he walks in the ring as if there's wet cement, right? His footwork is a little too heavy. Crawford is such a smart fighter where he can he's like Bruce Lee, literally. And he's in his peak, he's in his prime, and so I think that if that fight ever happens, which I don't think it will, if that fight ever happens, I have to go with Crawford.
There you have it, Oscar De La Hoya talking about Crawford.
Veteran journalist Dan Raphael sparred with Stephen A. Smith, passionately defending Terence Crawford's quest for boxing supremacy. Raphael insisted Crawford's drive transcends mere financial gain, chasing immortal glory instead. Yet he cautioned the path to triumph is fraught with peril, demanding an impeccable game plan. Surprisingly, not all skeptics dismiss Crawford's audacious ambition.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media, and I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention, and he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A., all of us looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hype about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round one, or there might have been some much more trouble. Stephen A., that was like, I don't know, 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage. Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think really tried.
Renowned boxing analyst Teddy Atlas sees Terence Crawford as a top-tier contender. He highlights Crawford's elite IQ, grit, and in-ring versatility. According to Atlas, Crawford's ability to adapt mid-fight makes him a dangerous opponent. He's mentally unshakable and physically relentless. In Atlas's view, if anyone can disrupt expectations and deliver a premium performance, it's Crawford.
Well, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." You know, but who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight.
The potential clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez sparks massive buzz in the boxing world. If Crawford pulls off the upset, it could become a legendary pay-per-view event. But with Canelo's power and size advantage, this high-stakes super fight might end in a dangerous, one-sided spectacle.
Guys are tired of me saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it. And he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's going to say, well, after Madrimore fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher, you know, a unified champion that he's been, you know, all of that stuff. He's not going to be able to handle it. I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, you know, who's going to be able sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it.
That wraps up today's premium content. Subscribe and enable notifications for future updates on wealth strategies, financial freedom, and high-income digital opportunities.